When we talk about the end of the universe, most people picture something distant, almost like science fiction. But the truth is, scientists say the process has already begun, and that creates a striking paradox. We are living both its peak and its decline at the same time. How can the universe be dying while it still shines above us at night? That's the fascinating contradiction we're about to explore together. Thinking about this challenges our deepest beliefs about time and eternity. We've always trusted in the idea of forever, but even the stars have an expiration date. And here comes the provocation. If the cosmos itself isn't eternal, what does that say about our own lives? This discomfort hides a powerful gift, learning how to value the present. Because every single moment is, in reality, unrepeatable. So, when we ask, has the end of the universe already begun? It isn't only about science. It's also a personal invitation to reflect on the way we're living. The cosmos may be moving towards silence, but we still have a voice. And every choice we make today can be our way of shining in the dark. This is the cosmic and human journey you're about to embark on right now. There was a time when the universe felt like a restless teenager, overflowing with energy and curiosity at every corner. Astronomers call it the cosmic noon, the midday of star formation. At its peak, thousands of stars were born every second, like fireworks exploding without pause, picture factories of light running triple shifts, never shutting down their machines. Each galaxy was a racing heart, pumping brilliance in all directions. Cold gas was abundant fuel, and gravity conducted the dance with flawless mastery. To visualize it, think of the liveliest neighborhood in a city, music blasting, doors wide open, people constantly arriving. Matter was transformed into stars with remarkable efficiency, as if the cosmos were an eternal construction site. There were collisions, births, and explosions all happening at once, yet with a surprisingly harmonious rhythm. The cosmic youth was in a hurry, like someone who had just discovered countless talents and wanted to try them all at once. And that urgency left behind luminous scars that we can still observe today, if we know where to look. Today, the scene has changed tone. The spectacle is more subdued, almost intimate. The Milky Way now forms only about 7 stars per year, a modest number compared to its past. 7 per year against thousands per second feels like walking down an empty avenue after a parade. It's like returning to your childhood schoolyard, only to find it silent, echoing with memories. The available gas has diminished, the rhythm has cooled, and cosmic dust settles more quietly. There's still music, but now it plays softly, inviting us to notice the details. Anyone watching the sky sees fewer bursts of fireworks and more mature, steady constellations. This transition isn't a failure, it's the natural course of a life maturing. Just as people trade sprinting for meaningful conversations, galaxies trade frenzy for balance. The universe has learned to breathe slowly, without losing the greatness of what it has already built. And in this slower rhythm, new questions emerge, demanding attention. What's fascinating is that this change reveals clues about how galaxies have grown and evolved. The vibrant past isn't just a memory. It explains the choices the cosmos makes today. Old stars tell stories of abundance, metallicity, stellar winds, and explosions that recycled everything. Each cluster is an open diary, its pages of light waiting for a patient reader. A mentor might say, observe the patterns, compare the eras, and you'll understand the logic behind today's universe. In practice, that means looking at colors, masses, ages, and star formation rates. That's how we begin to see the invisible thread stitching together the biography of the cosmos. And once that thread appears, we understand why some regions shine while others rest. It's not only cosmic poetry, it's method, investigation, maps, and models all connecting together. All of this sets the stage for uncovering what galaxies hide in their own genealogy. In the next topic, we'll open that drawer of secrets and see what has truly changed. Galaxies have always kept secrets, and understanding their lives is like tracing the family tree of an ancient lineage. Scientist Eric Holberg once conducted a curious experiment. He used light bulbs and photoreceptors to simulate how light spreads and fades. That simple gesture opened doors to new ways of interpreting cosmic brightness. Think of it as a metaphor for human creativity. Small ideas can ignite great revelations. Just as a lamp can light up a dark room, one insight can illuminate centuries of mystery. Every galaxy carries its own light pattern, almost like a unique fingerprint. By studying them, we uncover clues about cosmic birth, youth, and maturity. It's like observing the marks on an elder's face and piecing together their life story. At this point, science feels more like archaeology. We dig into time with telescopes, and the deeper we dig, the more we realize that nothing in the universe ever stays the same. This discovery leads us to an inevitable parallel, the evolution of human families. Over generations, families change, transform, drift apart, and come back together again. In the same way, galaxies grow, collide, merge, and eventually age. A young galaxy is like a family in expansion, filled with new members arriving. The rhythm is intense, noisy, overflowing with energy and hope. With time, like a house that has sheltered many generations, the galaxy slows down. The once bustling halls grow silent, leaving behind memories and legacies. When two families unite, a new story is born. When two galaxies collide, something unexpected emerges. Sometimes that union brings chaos, but it can also create magnificent structures. Each cosmic merger is like a turbulent marriage, an initial clash, followed by a new balance. And it is within this cycle of meetings and farewells that the universe writes its biography. The most striking realization is that at its core, this pattern is universal. Looking at galaxies is like looking into mirrors that reflect our own dynamics. We too carry phases of growth, drastic change, and periods of stability. When a galaxy loses its creative force, it still exists, with dignity. Just as an aging family preserves memories in photographs, a galaxy preserves its ancient stars. These hidden stories are etched in the way galaxies shine, rotate, and breathe, and understanding this reveals that the cosmos is not only physical, but also narrative. It is almost as if there were a literature written in photons, awaiting attentive interpreters. That literature doesn't speak only about space, it speaks about us, humans. Because if galaxies change and mature, why should our lives be any different? The secret of galaxies is to remind us that nothing is fixed, everything transforms. And if we've already uncovered their childhood, the next step is to investigate how they face the cosmic dusk. Today, we live in what scientists call the cosmic evening, the twilight of the universe. It's not that cosmic life has ended, but its peak has passed, and the energy now feels serene. It's like coming home after a long day. There's still movement, but at a gentler pace. Stars are still being born, though far fewer than in earlier times. Galaxies no longer rush like youth. They prefer to walk slowly, like mature adults. This stage resembles a sunset, still beautiful, still luminous, but with a different intensity. Anyone looking at the sky today sees stability, not the frantic explosions of every second. It's the calm after the storm, the silence that follows a grand concert. And even that silence carries poetry, because it reveals maturity and balance. The universe seems to whisper, "My show goes on," but now in a different tone. And perhaps it is within this change of rhythm that one of the cosmos's greatest secrets lies. What's striking is that most galaxies are already quiet, almost retired. These are systems that once produced stars endlessly and now live in prolonged rest. It's like watching an industrial city that no longer manufactures as before, but still remains alive. The buildings are still standing, the streets still exist, only the rush has vanished. This transformation does not mean death, but rather a new kind of existence. Quiet galaxies are like wise elders, less productive yet full of stories. Each ancient star is an archive, a testimony of more turbulent times. And if we listen closely, we can learn much from this apparent cosmic silence, because it reminds us that progress doesn't always mean constant acceleration. Sometimes true advancement comes precisely from the pause, from stillness. And that stillness opens space for new reflections on the destiny of the cosmos. There is something profoundly human about this stage of the universe. Balance after intensity. Just as a well-lived life reaches a moment of contemplation, the cosmos rests. It has not lost its grandeur. It has simply traded haste for patience. Every galaxy that slows down teaches us that the end of a cycle can also be beautiful. It is not the end of the party. It is merely the change of music into something calmer. This cosmic twilight is like the glowing embers of a fire still alive. It no longer erupts in flames, but it warms with depth and constancy. The universe is in this moment of gentle heat, still radiant, but restrained. And if the present already shows us this picture, imagine what lies ahead. For the great question is not only to witness the twilight, but to ask, what happens at night? That is the bridge leading us to understand how galaxies truly die. The death of a galaxy does not happen suddenly, like switching off a lamp. It is slow, silent, almost imperceptible to the naked eye, yet devastating on a cosmic scale. Astronomers call this process quenching, the gradual extinguishing of star formation. It's as if the galaxy were losing its breath, inhaling more weakly with every passing moment. The fuel for new stars, gas, is either drained away or heated beyond use. Without this nourishment, the galaxy can no longer give birth to life in the form of light. And little by little, what was once vibrant becomes a frozen portrait of the past. The intriguing part is that there are three main culprits behind this final silence. They can act together or separately, but all leave deep scars. It's as if there were a cosmic tribunal, judging and condemning vitality, and the inevitable verdict is the hollowing out of the galactic heart. The first culprit is stellar winds and supernovae, violent forces. They expel gas like storms sweeping away the last resources of a city. Imagine a village cut off from its water supply. Life soon becomes unsustainable. That is what happens when giant stars explode, blowing away the material essential for creation. The second culprit is galactic collisions, brutal, transformative encounters. When two galaxies crash, their internal balance is shattered and chaos takes over. Some of the gas is lost, some is overheated, some is simply ripped away. Amid this turmoil, the rhythm of creation becomes unsustainable. The third culprit is even darker, supermassive black holes. They devour matter with such intensity that they shut down star production. It is as if the very heart of the galaxy were draining its own energy, refusing to beat again. A striking example of this process is the galaxy M87, a true stellar graveyard. It hosts a colossal black hole whose force bends even the fabric of space around it. There, the fuel for new stars has been exhausted, leaving only ancient suns behind. It is like a cosmic ghost town. Buildings still stand, but the windows are dark. And when we observe M87, we realize this fate is not the exception, but the rule. Most galaxies have already gone through, or will one day undergo, the same process. It is the natural course of cosmic evolution, a biography written in silence. Yet every ending carries clues about what comes next. For while galaxies may die, the universe itself continues to expand. And this expansion paves the way for the longest and most mysterious chapter in cosmic history. A chapter scientists call the long night of the universe. The future of the cosmos is as grand as it is unsettling, a night with no end in sight. After galaxies lose their creative breath, only a slow fading will remain. In trillions of years, the last stars will still be born, but only timidly. They will emerge from collisions between brown dwarfs, small, cold bodies that rarely shine. These rare sparks will be like fleeting embers in an almost total darkness. Nothing like the dazzling fireworks of the cosmic youth that once was. With every passing billion years, the universe will grow quieter, emptier. The vitality of stars will give way to isolated points of solitary light. It will be a vast stage, but with almost no actors left to perform the play. This long night is not a metaphor. It is a scientific prediction grounded in physics and astrophysics. And to grasp this scenario is to accept that even infinity grows weary. Scientists project that after this period, only exotic remnants will endure, so-called iron stars, bodies so dense they can no longer shine. They emit no warmth, no energy. They merely occupy space as frozen memories. Picture a campfire that burned brightly for hours, now reduced to cold embers. Those embers no longer give heat, yet still tell that once there was life. The universe will be the same, mute records of a once vibrant past. Black holes will continue to wander silently like predators without prey. Loose particles, protons and electrons, will drift in isolation. It will be an immense stage of solitude, with darkness ruling as the protagonist. This is the night astronomers foresee, long, cold, and nearly eternal. And even in that stillness, hidden stories will remain, waiting to be deciphered. Thinking about this future may feel despairing, yet it is also profoundly revealing. The long night of the universe shows us that even the greatest existence has cycles. Just as a human life eventually rests, so too will the cosmos seek repose. This does not mean everything will lose meaning, only that new patterns will emerge. The absence of stars may open the way for discoveries not yet imagined. Perhaps hidden processes, unknown forces are waiting to be understood. This cosmic silence may prove more fertile than we expect, just in another form. Like a forest regenerating after fire, space itself may reinvent its being. We do not know whether there will be a new dawn or only the persistence of emptiness. But we do know that this night is preparing the ground for one last revelation, and that revelation is directly tied to the accelerated expansion of the universe. If the long night already seems inevitable, there is still one ingredient accelerating that destiny: cosmic expansion. The universe is not only expanding, it is doing so at an ever-increasing pace. It's as if someone had stretched a rubber band, and instead of relaxing, it kept stretching on its own. The more space grows, the more it separates from itself, creating vast voids. The galaxies we still see in the sky today will one day become invisible, not because they cease to exist, but because they will be too far away for their light to ever reach us. It is an implacable separation, one that even the speed of light cannot overcome. Think of friends drifting apart on the road of life, each step pulling them farther away, never to return. This acceleration is not subtle. It has been recorded by telescopes in distant galaxies and supernovae, and the deeper we look into the past, the more certain we become of this solitary future. Expansion is the silent gear driving the universe toward isolation. The engine behind this gear is called dark energy, a mysterious force. It emits no light, interacts with nothing directly, yet it dominates cosmic dynamics. It is like an invisible conductor orchestrating the symphony of space, unseen yet undeniable. No one truly knows what it is, but its effects are unmistakable. By accelerating expansion, it condemns galaxies to drift ever farther apart. It is like releasing balloons into an open field, watching them vanish beyond the horizon. Each balloon follows its own path, with no chance of reunion. The most unsettling truth is that this force makes up most of the universe. Everything we know, stars, planets, ordinary matter, is just a tiny fraction. We live on a stage where the spotlights are small, but the backdrop is immense. And that backdrop, moved by dark energy, dictates the end of the play. This conclusion opens up an almost philosophical reflection on our place in the cosmos. If even the grandest galaxies are condemned to isolation, what does that say about us? Expansion is not just physical, it resonates as a metaphor for human life. People drift apart, stories grow distant, memories fade with time. And yet, just as we still seek meaning in fleeting relationships, we search for meaning in the universe. Perhaps the secret is not to resist expansion, but to understand its lesson. It reminds us that everything changes, everything drifts away, and that is why the present matters. Every star we see today is a rare gift, for tomorrow it may already be beyond reach. In the end, the universe teaches us to live as attentive witnesses of our own existence, and if the cosmic night is inevitable, then all that remains is to savor the sunset while it still glows. Because the next chapter of the story may be hidden in what we have yet to understand. The universe has shown us that everything moves in cycles, to be born, to grow, to shine, and to fall silent. This truth is not only cosmic, it is also profoundly human. Just like stars and galaxies, our lives follow the same rhythm. The question is, what will you do with the time you still have? Because every second, right now, is more precious than it seems. Perhaps it's time to look at the present with greater urgency, not to live in fear, but to live with intensity. If even infinity has an expiration date, then our choices cannot wait. You can create your own constellation of moments and achievements, but that depends on the step you choose to take today. Now I want to hear from you. What touched you the most in this video? Leave your reflection in the comments and share it with someone special. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next explorations. Here, we will keep diving into the mysteries of the cosmos and of life. Because the universe may be heading towards silence, but our conversation doesn't end here.